ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 3, The Birth of Lord Krishna, texts 48 and 49. I will read text 48, you can repeat after me. Taya Hrita Pratyaya Sarvavrittisho Taya Hrita Pratyaya Sarvavrittisho Vaha Stesho Pauresho Api Shayitesho Atha Dvasteषु पौरेषु अपि शायितेष्वथा पाराः च सर्वाः पिहिता दुरत्यया द्वारश्च सर्वा पिहिता दुरत्यया बृहत् कपाट आयस किल श्रृङ्खलैः बृहत् कपाटायस किल श्रृङ्खलैः तया हृतप्रत्यय सर्ववृत्तेषु द्वास्तेषु पौरेषु अपि शायितेष्वथा पारश्च सर्वा पिहिता दुरत्यया बृहत्कपाटायस कीलशृङ्खलै तया हृतप्रत्यय सर्ववृत्तिषु वास्तेषु पौरेषु अपि शायितेष्वथा द्वारश्च सर्वा पिहिता दुरत्यया बृहत्कपाटायस कीलशृङ्खलैः I will read the next text myself. ता कृष्णवाहे वसुदेव आगते स्वयं व्यवर्यन्त यथा तमोरवेः ववर्षपर्जन्य उपांशु गर्जिता Sheshonvagadvari Nivarayan Panaihi. Please repeat the word to word meaning. Taya, by the influence of Yogamaya. Hrita Pratyaya, deprived of all sensation. Sarva Vrittishu, having all their senses. Dvasteshu, all the doormen. Paureshu api, as well as other members of the house. Shayiteshu, sleeping very deeply. Atha, when Vasudeva tried to take his transcendental son out of the confinement, Dvaracha, as well as the doors, Sarvaha, all, Pihitaha, constructed, Duratyaya, very hard and firm, Brihat Kapata, and on great doors, Ayasakila, Shrinkalaihi, strongly constructed with iron pins and closed with iron chains. Taha, all of them. Krishnavahe, bearing Krishna. Vasudeve, when Vasudeva. Agate, appeared. Swayam, automatically. Vyavaryanta, opened wide. Yatha, as. Tamaha, darkness. Ravehe, on the appearance of the sun. Vavarsha, showered rain. Parjanyaha, the clouds in the sky. Upamshu garjitaha, very mildly resounding and raining very slightly. Sheshaha, Anantanaga. Anvagat, followed. Vari, showers of rain. Nivarayan, stopping. Panaihi, by spreading his hoods. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Abhay Charanarvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. By the influence of Yogamaya, all the doorkeepers fell fast asleep, their senses unable to work, and the other inhabitants of the house also fell deeply asleep. When the sun rises, the darkness automatically disappears. Similarly, when Vasudeva appeared, the closed doors, which were strongly pinned with iron and locked with iron chains, opened automatically. Since the clouds in the sky were mildly thundering and showering, Anantanaga, an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, followed Vasudeva, beginning from the door, with hoods expanded to protect Vasudeva and the transcendental child. Can you repeat the translation? By the influence of Yogamaya, all the doorkeepers fell fast asleep, their senses unable to work, and the other inhabitants of the house also fell deeply asleep. When the sun rises, the darkness automatically disappears. Similarly, when Vasudeva appeared, the closed doors, which were strongly pinned with iron and locked with iron chains, opened automatically. Since the clouds in the sky were mildly thundering and showering, Anantanaga, an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, followed Vasudeva, beginning from the door, with hoods expanded to protect Vasudeva and the transcendental child. Purport. Sheshanaga is an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose business is to serve the Lord with all necessary paraphernalia. When Vasudeva was carrying the child, Sheshanaga came to serve the Lord and protect him from the mild showers of rain. That ends the Bhaktivinoda purport and translation to Canto 10, Chapter 3, texts 48 and 49 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namavom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This is a very important verse highlighting the special feature of performing service to Krishna and Krishna's devotee, pure devotee. How much important and glorious is service, devotional service, is very nicely captured in this verse. That Ananta Sesha, he is actually Vishnu, Sheshanag, Anantadev. Even Ananta, even though being Vishnu, is very much influenced and inspired and feels ecstasy in serving the Supreme Lord. So much so that when Krishna was born in the prison house of Kamsa, by the arrangement of Yogamaya, Krishna's spiritual potency, all the doormen who are guarding the gates of the prison house, they automatically fell asleep. And all the inhabitants in the house of Kamsa also fell deeply asleep. Because the plan is Vasudeva has to shift Krishna from the jail in Mathura to a safe place in Gokula, in the house of Nanda and Yashoda. Because when Kamsa gets to know that the Supreme Lord has taken his birth, then he is very soon going to meet with his death. So therefore, Kamsa is not going to spare this Krishna, who was the 8th son of Mother Devaki. And already there is a precedence in the past that Kamsa had killed the first 7 sons of Devaki mercilessly. The moment they are born, his own sister's sons. But mercilessly, for the sake of securing his own life, he did not even hesitate to kill his own sister's sons. That too when they were infants. How demoniac mentality Kamsa possessed. So there is a precedence that he has mercilessly, heartlessly killed his own sister's sons. Therefore, Devaki and Vasudeva were in great anxiety to protect Lord Krishna. So Vasudeva wanted to transfer Krishna to a safer region. But there are doormen, jail, superintendent, so many people in the palace. So how can Vasudeva take Krishna and go away like that. Therefore, Yogamaya arranged that they all fall asleep. Not only that, the doorman fell asleep. People in the house of Kamsa also fell asleep. And even all the uh, residents in Mathura were also fast asleep. But Vasudeva was imprisoned. So who is going to open the door lock? By the arrangement of Yogamaya, automatically the closed doors were open. The locks opened by themselves. They were strongly pinned with iron and locked with iron chains, but they opened automatically. Uh, this is the this is called Yoga Shakti. Then, just at the time of Krishna's appearance, the clouds in the sky were mildly thundering and showering rains. Therefore, Anantasesha, understanding, oh, the Lord needs an umbrella now. And Vasudeva also needs an umbrella. How will he carry the child? Hmm? The Lord and the devotee, they both need my help. So Anantasesha personally came understanding the situation. He was not called for, but he volunteered. This is called voluntary service. We say in ISKCON, they come for voluntary service. So this is called voluntary service. Anantasesha, being very sensitive and sharp, came voluntarily to extend his seva by extending his hoods upon the head of Vasudeva to protect both Vasudeva and the transcendental child from the rain showers. Right from the prison house he came. Anantasesha appeared and he went up to Gokula safely, teaching the child and Vasudeva. So this is the beauty and nature of seva to Krishna. How attractive, enchanting it is that even Vishnu, in the form of Ananta, Shesha, is ever eager to serve Krishna and Krishna's pure devotees. So, this devotional service is expression of one's love. Love is not a passive emotion, but it is an active emotion expressed and manifest through one's service to Krishna. This is actually love. Hmm? And the extent of love one has to the Lord is understood by the deep and intense desire one has to serve the Supreme Lord. So, if love is there, automatically service is there. You can't say that I love the Lord but not rendering any service. It can't be possible. It is contradictory. If you love the Lord, that love is manifest necessarily through seva. That's called devotional service. Hmm. So if love is there, automatically there is service. Service follows love. But if love is not there, then how do we develop love? By rendering service, you develop love. It's a reverse process. If you have love, automatically you will serve Krishna. Then you don't have to say, please serve Krishna, please serve Krishna. Because I love Krishna, I will anyway serve Krishna. But if you don't have love for God, then what to do? Engage in service to Krishna, you will develop love to the Lord. So it's a reverse process. So today we are practicing that in the form of sadhana bhakti. We are advised to render service to Krishna under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. So by rendering service, we gradually will develop our dormant love for God. How does service lead to love? This is a practical example, an experience. Earlier times, when the Vedic society was well organized and the Vedic practices and culture was prevalent, because in the present times, the Vedic culture is almost nil. Hmm? Only the hippie culture is prevalent today. Vedic culture is almost nil. So, therefore, that sensitivities of Vedic life, Vedic society, Vedic family is almost unknown to the modern man. And the psychology, the thought process behind the practices in the Vedic times are practically forgotten, not known, therefore, it is all abandoned. Most of the practices which were followed during the Vedic times, even, even about a century ago, it's completely uh, uh, neglected and even abolished and banned today because they didn't know the purpose, the intent, and the benefit and the science behind Vedic practices. Hmm? Today, what is known as social evils, unfortunately, because of not knowing the spirit and how to apply that principle, you just foolishly can't imitate the principles without knowing how to apply the principles of Vedic culture or uh, practices. Blindly, you cannot apply. You should know. Then it becomes meaningful. So, having said the context, let's take an example of how service leads to love from the Vedic times. Even a century back, I'm saying. I'm not saying 5,000 years and all, 10,000 years. Earlier, there was child marriage, which is presently abolished and banned, and it's considered illegal as per government also. That might be okay in today's context because they don't know the purpose of child marriage. So, therefore, uh, it may be okay. But otherwise, if one knows the purpose, it's a great science. Why child marriage was encouraged? There's a very specific, scientific, serious, important, grave reason. What is that? Earlier, of course, today adulthood is understood when you come to 18 years of age, but child marriage was encouraged because when a girl, it's an example uh, cited by the acharyas, when a girl, when she is very young, if she is married to a boy who is also very young, because they're very young, not even attained their adulthood, even after marriage, the girl is not sent to the boy's house who has already become her husband, even though a young boy. But the girl will not be sent to the husband's house. So the girl will remain till she comes to her age, adulthood. She will remain at the mother's house. The boy will remain with the father, his father. So girl will remain with her parents, the boy will remain with his parents. But they're married. Both know they're married. So how do we build up this bonding and love and connection? After marriage, you have to get bonded, become affectionate to each other, and build the relation very healthily. Now, how does that happen if both are in different houses? So, what the girl's parents will do is they will send this girl every day to the boy's house. And what that boy likes, or whatever his prasadam he needs, breakfast, lunch, snacks, dinner. So, this girl will go and deliver to the boy there. And she has to serve that boy who is actually her husband. She doesn't understand what do you mean by marriage, a small girl. Boy also doesn't understand that she is my wife. He also doesn't understand. So she will go regularly and serve him and satisfy him. Naturally, when you serve somebody, you become intimate to him. It's in our experience, right? When you offer service, render service, repeatedly, again, and voluntarily you go again. Prabhu, can I do some service? Prabhu, can I do some service? Prabhu, can I help you? What help you want? You repeat it naturally, you become intimate. That is why the Acharya is considered the most confidential devotee. He is the most confidential devotee. The Acharya is the most confidential devotee of the Lord because he is the most confidential servant. So he has become confidential devotee by confidential service. Kintu prabhorya priya eva tasya. We sing that in the morning. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. So why he has become dear to the Supreme Lord? Because of seva. He is the dearmost servant. So by service, he has captured Krishna's heart. So same methodology is applied. So this girl will go regularly to the boy's house and render service. Not only serving food, she'll render all kinds of services to him. Maybe washing his clothes also. All kinds of things. Slowly, when the service builds up, the intimacy builds up, automatically this girl will become very tightly bonded to the boy. The boy also will get very tightly bonded to the girl. Then when they come to age and maturity, this girl will never look at any other boy other than her husband, because she has by the time developed a bond, a strong affection, bonding and love. She will never look at any other boy. Similarly, this boy, because he has become attached to this girl, he will never look at any other girl. So marriage life will be successful. Today marriage life is failure. Marriage is failure because they don't know the psychology, how it works. So this was the science behind child marriage. Now why not after marriage we can do? No, because it is psychological. The first person whom the girl loves, it will remain for life. This is psychology. So Vedic system is very, very scientific. So the point here is, by that service she develops love. But because she does not have love to him, he does not have love to her. So through service madhyama, medium, this love is built up and manifested, invoked. So good example in the Shastras. So similarly, because we have lost our dormant love for the Lord, we are going to revive that by the same scientific method of engaging in service to Krishna, our beloved. Supposed to be our beloved, but today is not. Therefore, by serving, so we are saying, go to the altar, offer flower to Krishna, go to the kitchen, cook something for Krishna, stitch one dress for the Lord, do some seva for the Lord. Lord's guests have come, give some prasadam. Like this, by rendering service to Krishna, we become more and more closely associated, connected, intimate, and the love which the jiva has got dormant in him will awaken one day. This is the science. Somebody may say, Prabhu, but why are you saying I have to be loving God? I will love somebody else. So there are two possibilities. Love and service is natural to the jiva. It's constitutional to the jiva, to the living entity. You cannot say that there is no love in me, there is no emotion of service, attitude of service. You can't say. A living being means love and service is constitutional, intrinsic. Cannot avoid it. It is its nature. Jiva's nature is to love and serve. So either we love and serve Krishna, the most lovable and the ideal object of our seva, or you have to engage in service of Maya. There is no choice. Maya is Krishna's external energy. Just like we are engaged in serving so many people in this world, actually we are serving Krishna, but indirectly. By engaging in the service of Maya, we are serving Krishna only, because Maya is Krishna's energy. So by serving Maya, you are serving Krishna only, but indirectly. So why not serve Krishna directly? And somebody may say, what is the logic? The logic is the destinations and results are different. By serving Krishna, there is one destination. By serving Maya, there is another destination. By serving Krishna, there is one result. By serving Maya, there is another result. By serving Krishna, there is liberation from material bondage, from the cycle of birth and death. By serving Maya, you get bound in this material world, in the world of suffering and misery. So it is not the same. And serving Maya is not constitutional. Serving Krishna or God is constitutional to the jiva. One should know there is so much joy in serving Krishna that uh, even as we see in this verse, Vishnu, as Anantashesha wants to serve the Lord, everybody is engaged in the service of the Lord in the spiritual world and even otherwise. Like, for example, great devotees like Narada, great rishis, munis, great devotees, Prahalad, Pandavas, even Devatas, all are engaged in the service of Krishna. Even Vishnu. Hmm. Ah. So, what to speak of anybody? Even Lakshmi is very much inspired in rendering service to Krishna. And she ever seeks an opportunity to serve Krishna. Sometimes she becomes envious of Tulasi Devi. That's described in Bhagavatam. Because sometimes Lakshmi has to leave the service of Narayana and go to attend to her bhaktas because of their prayers. So that period, she is not able to serve her Lord. But Tulasi Devi is always attached and fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna and able to render eternal service to Krishna. So sometimes it is said that Lakshmi has becomes envious of Tulasi's transcendental position of being able to serve Krishna better than her. So there is transcendental competition even in the spiritual world in serving the Lord. But that is transcendental competition, not material competition. The competition of who is going to serve Krishna better. So, so what to speak of any living being in this world? Even Lakshmi's desire is to serve Krishna. What to speak of Lakshmi? As we discussed, even Vishnu wants to serve Krishna. What to speak of Vishnu? The source of Vishnu, Sankarshana. Even he wants to serve Krishna. What to speak of Sankarshana? Lord Balarama is the source of Sankarshana. Even he wants to render service to Krishna. There's a pastime. Actually, there's one nice picture on one of the paintings in ISKCON where you can see that in that picture, one day in the forest, the cowherd boys, Krishna, Balaram, every day they go for having a fun time to play. And Krishna wants to give joy to his devotees. So one day Krishna was tired and he was resting beneath a tree. So Balarama is seen massaging Krishna's feet. Balarama is the direct expansion of Krishna, from whom Sankarshana is coming, and from whom uh, even Mahavishnu is coming, from whom Ananta is coming, from whom the Devatas are coming and the Jivas. So that Balarama, the direct expansion of Krishna, even his desire is to serve Krishna and massaging Krishna's feet. Lakshmi is massaging Krishna's feet. So the joy of serving Krishna, ecstasy of serving Krishna is undescribable. Interestingly, Chaitanya Charitamrita explains the sweetness of serving Krishna is so great and sublime that Krishna himself becomes enamored by that service of the devotee. He wants to understand what is that sweetness in serving me, that everybody, right from Balarama to Sankarshana to Vishnu to Devatas to the Jivas, everybody is carried away by that service and they're able to sacrifice and go any degree to serve me, render service to me. So what is so special and so sweet? Hmm? That is keeping them grounded in my seva. What glory, what sweetness is there? Narada, Prahalad, Gopis, Radharani, everybody hmm, is in ecstasy serving Krishna, highly committed and dedicated. So, Krishna, because he is God, he is only receiving service. Therefore, he could not experience the joy and that sweetness in what it means to render service and what is the joy the bhakta is getting by rendering service to me, which even I am not able to experience in the position as God, even though I am Bhagavan and I am the source of Ananda. But the Ananda of the bhakta is different. Therefore, Lord Krishna decided to appear in this world, descend in this world as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to taste that sweetness of bhakti, rasa, the mellow of devotional service, which Krishna apparently could not experience by being in the position of Bhagavan. He has to become a bhakta to experience that bhakti rasa. So God became a bhakta, and that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, he is Krishna, but he became a bhakta to taste that sweetness of bhakti. Now you can appreciate what is this glory of devotional service. Hmm? So, um, just one or two examples and I will close. So, the joy the devotee experiences, actually, Krishna is Anandamayo Abhyasat. The Upanishads describe Krishna as the personality of Ananda, repository of Ananda, the source of Ananda. Anandamaya, Ananda Swarupi. Krishna is transcendental bliss. His personality is transcendental bliss. Satchit Ananda, the source of Satchidananda. We are also Satchidananda, but our source of Satchidananda is Krishna. So where is the question of lacking Ananda? There is no lacking. But Krishna is seeing the joy, the Ananda, the devotee experiences is far greater than what I am experiencing. This is another reason why Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So much so that when the Jiva is rightly situated, he wants to be an eternal servant of Krishna. But the Lord wants to become the eternal servant of his devotee. So there's a transcendental competition between Lord and his devotee to render service. Here in this world, there is a competition of envy to become the master. But in the spiritual world, there's a transcendental competition in who will render better service and more service. Because the kind of joy you experience in rendering service to the Lord or the Lord's pure devotee is so great and sublime. Is there anything superior to Krishna? Yes. One thing, bhakti to Krishna is superior to Krishna. Because the bhakti is also for Krishna only. Hmm. So, just two, three examples. Just like we see, even the Acharya, although apparently a spiritual master, he's called spiritual master, right? But the uh, hmm, position of the spiritual master also is to render service to the disciple and to Krishna simultaneously. He is serving Krishna as a spiritual master because Krishna wants him to the spiritual master. He is rendering his service to Krishna by acting as a spiritual master. He is rendering service to his disciple by guiding him properly in Krishna consciousness and protecting his devotional service and safely safeguarding his devotional service and safely reaching the jiva to Krishna. That is the greatest service the Acharya is rendering to the jiva in protecting the jiva from Maya, Maya Shakti, Maya's influence, and safely handing over the jiva to Krishna. So the greatest service the Acharya is rendering. Hmm. There's one nice pastime in Prabhupada's life. Many pastimes. Just one pastime in Prabhupada's life. One time, um, we all knew how Prabhupada's time, even today, devotees do a lot of book distribution, because Prabhupada's very dear service was distributing his books, because in that way you can actually change the jiva's course of life and bring him to Krishna. If somebody reads Prabhupada's books, 100% he will change his course of life and become devotee of Krishna. From within, he will get an awakening. Yes, I must serve Krishna. You'll be surprised actually. You will never get that feeling if you don't read Prabhupada books. All of us have experienced this. So book distribution is the most important service. So devotees used to distribute a lot of books. So one day, this was in the initial days of ISKCON, very initial days of ISKCON. Devotees were practical neophytes. They don't know Acharya, he's Jagat Guru, he's representative of Krishna, pure devotee, Mahabhagavat. They don't know anything. They know him as Swami, Swamiji. They like Swamiji. They like Prabhupada. So one day, this one particular devotee, actually it was Sat Swarupa Dasa. So he went out for book distribution. So initial days. So he told Prabhupada, that time, even the term Prabhupada had not come in ISKCON. It came much later. So he was called Swamiji. So they said, so he told Prabhupada while going out for book distribution, before going out morning, Swamiji, can you please reserve some prasadam for me? He's telling Prabhupada. So Prabhupada said, oh, why not? Surely I'll keep for you, because when I come late, many times prasadam is not there. So directly told Prabhupada, so please keep some prasadam for me. Prabhupada said, oh yes, surely I'll keep. Went for book distribution, came late night, and all the devotees have slept. But Prabhupada was awake, waiting for this devotee to come back. The last devotee to come back. So this devotee came back after all the book distribution, quite late. So then Prabhupada made him sit in one room. He said, please sit down, I'll come back. The devotee is waiting, where is prasadam? So like that. So Prabhupada went to another room and brought the prasadam buckets which he reserved for him and said, you sit down. Prabhupada personally served him prasadam. So this devotee was like shocked. And after that, Prabhupada left for the day to retire. So this devotee is writing, I could not even imagine, because later, many years later, he just reflected, my God, I told Prabhupada to keep some prasadam, like I tell one devotee, hey, Haribol, keep some prasadam for me, I'm coming late night, okay? He's telling the Acharya, the pure devotee of Krishna. He is the Guru. He is telling the master only to serve him. Prabhupada, very happily extended that service. So later on he thought, how foolish I was. Of course, from the devotee side it was okay. But you can just see the ecstasy of serving a devotee is so great that Acharyas, the Supreme Lord, everyone wants to jump into the field of seva. Now you see, in the Bhagavatam, there is another interesting reference. Many references, just one or two I will take and close. There was one particular wife of Krishna by name Kalindi. You know this Kalindi Yamuna Jaya Mahavan, Kalindi river. It's in Vrindavan. It's a great devotee of Krishna. Yamuna, actually, another name. So this Kalindi, this is the context where Mother Draupadi is visiting 5 queens of Lord Krishna. Among the 16,108 queens of Krishna, wives of Krishna, she meets 5 queens. And she's interacting with them and asking them, how did you become wife of Lord Krishna? How did Krishna accept you as your wife? So that's the context here. So when she met Kalindi, she said, my dear Draupadi, actually I engaged in great austerities and penances to get Lord Krishna as my husband. And when Krishna got to know about this, he very kindly came. He personally came. I didn't go. Krishna got to know, and he personally came with his friend Arjuna and accepted me as his wife. Then Lord Krishna took me away from the bank of Yamuna. And since then, note this point, since then, I have been engaged in the house of Lord Krishna as a sweeper. But Lord Krishna considers me as his wife. This is the ecstasy of service to Krishna. He's thinking that I have become a sweeper in Krishna's palace, Dwaraka. But Krishna is thinking, no. She is my wife. Somebody comes, Krishna is introducing, because he already introduced somebody that I'm actually a sweeper in Krishna's palace. Krishna says, hey, no, she is my wife. So that is the ecstasy of the devotee, how humble the devotee is, you can imagine. One instance. There's another instance. This is about Mitravinda. This is another wife of Krishna. So she said, my dear Draupadi, there was a Swayamvara ceremony. Swayamvara means in those times, again, today it is not prevalent, this system, wherein when monarchy was prevalent, the king would come to the princess palace, and the girl's father sometimes, in exceptional cases, would arrange for Swayamvara, wherein either the girl can choose or the father of the girl will create a tough competition. And if any king who is desirous of marrying his daughter, the girl, he has to win the competition. Or the girl also can choose her husband. But that was only exceptional cases, not a common affair. Very specially qualified girls were allowed to choose their husband. So, Mitravinda, one of the wives of Krishna, had that opportunity. Her father arranged for a Swayamvara ceremony, personal selection of her husband. So, many kings were invited. Among them was also Lord Krishna, one of the candidates for marrying. So, Krishna was present at the meeting, and Mitravinda is saying to Mother Draupadi, Krishna accepted me as his maid servant by defeating all the princes there. Because many princes came to get hold of the hand of Mitravinda. But Krishna defeated all of them. And he immediately took me away to Dwaraka, exactly like a lion takes its prey from a pack of dogs. So when I was taken away by Krishna like that, my brothers, Mitravinda's brothers, they gave a tough fight to Krishna, but Krishna defeated all of them. But that is the Kshatriya spirit. You show your valor. Then the girl becomes very happy because, oh, my husband is so capable and powerful. So this kidnapping or eloping, it is construed in wrong way today. That's why I'm saying, unless you know the psychology, the science behind all these things, you don't appreciate. You think these are all illegal activities. Foolish people, they don't understand the science behind all these things. The idea is the Kshatriya should show his power and valor because he has to protect the wife from all other evils and debauchees who will prey upon your wife. So how can the wife have courage and faith? My husband will take care of me. So this is the way. The Kshatriya will show his power and courage. Don't worry, I am there for your life to protect you from all kinds of dangers. So anyway, so Krishna defeated all the brothers and took her away. Thus, Mitravinda is saying, my desire to become the maid servant of Krishna life after life was fulfilled. See how these are all queens of Dwaraka. But they're thinking our desire to be maid servant has been fulfilled. But they're actually wives of Krishna, the queens of Dwaraka. So this is the ecstasy of being a servant of Krishna and the ecstasy of rendering service to Krishna. So much so that in this verse we see Anantasesha personally came and extended his hoods to protect Vasudeva and Krishna from the rain showers. So we are so fortunate that even though we are not Anantasesha or Lakshmi or Mitravinda having that kind of desire, or Narad Muni to serve Krishna, to qualify to serve Krishna, we are not qualified to serve Krishna. By the Acharya's grace, even we are inducted to serve Krishna. How fortunate we are. So we should never leave this fortune. It's a privilege and honor. So we have to be humbled, actually, in getting the opportunity to serve the greatest Supreme Lord. Stop it. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.